Stop. Listen. Don't scroll. You are sitting at the edge of your bed, and the only sound in the room is the low hum of a fan, or the distant sound of traffic that doesn't seem to care that your world feels like it's standing still. You've just put your phone down after checking it for the 10th time, hoping for a notification, a message, or an email that says, "The wait is finally over." But the screen stayed dark. You've been praying, you've been working, and you've been keeping your head down, yet the silence from the other side feels like a heavy blanket you can't quite kick off. You're looking at your hands and wondering if they're ever going to hold the promise you were told was coming. You feel a bit like a ghost in your own life, moving through the motions, while everyone else seems to be crossing their finish lines. You're wondering how this is so specific. It is specific because your exhaustion has a signature and it has been seen. Before we go any further into what this silence actually means for your life and your provision, I want you to do something to settle your spirit and align with this moment. First, comment the word steady. Second, reply to your own comment with the word received. Third, I want you to look at the comment of one other person in this community and reply to them with these 4 words: "I'm standing with you." This isn't about hype. It's about the quiet strength of people who know that a breakthrough is often preceded by a profound, uncomfortable silence. The silence you are experiencing right now is not the silence of an empty room. It is the silence of a workshop. When a master craftsman is working on the most intricate details of a vessel, he doesn't shout. He leans in close. He holds his breath. He focuses every ounce of his attention on the refinement of the clay. You feel unheard because you are being handled with a level of precision that doesn't require noise. God says that your fatigue is not a sign of failure. It is the evidence that you have been carrying a weight that was never meant to be permanent. This is your confirmation that the heaviness you feel tonight is actually the pressure required to shape you into a vessel that can hold the weight of the favor that is coming. If the blessing came while you were still fragile, it would break you. The silence is the hardening of your resolve. Hear this: the doors aren't locked. They are being fitted with new hinges to support a greater opening. Think about that moment earlier today, or perhaps it was yesterday when you were standing in the grocery store or sitting at your desk, and for a split second, you felt a wave of what if? What if this is it? What if the help doesn't come? What if the bills outrun the check? What if the effort I'm putting into this job and this family or this dream is just disappearing into a void? You felt that tightening in your throat, the one you've learned to swallow down, so no one else sees it. You've become an expert at looking okay while you're calculating numbers in the back of your mind. You've become a professional at smiling through the "how are you" while your heart is screaming for a sign. God says that your dignity is being preserved even in the scarcity. You have been worried that the world will see your struggle and call it shame, but in the realm of the spirit, that struggle is being called refinement. You are a refined vessel. Every time you chose to be honest, when it would have been easier to cut a corner, every time you showed up to work with a spirit of excellence, even though you felt undervalued, every time you stayed kind to a difficult person, while your own heart was breaking, that was the refining fire. This is your confirmation your character has outpaced your current circumstances. And because your character is now larger than your struggle, the struggle no longer has the right to contain you. The container is about to change because the contents your spirit have grown too big for this season of lack. Hear this: there is a shift happening in the way help will reach you. In the past, you've had to hunt for every opportunity, scraping and booing for every crumb of progress. But as the timing aligns, you're going to see a transition from hunting to attracting. Because you have stayed steady in the silence, the right people are being prompted to remember your name. You don't need to shout to be noticed by those who are assigned to your next level of provision. There is a favorable timing that is settling over your house like a soft cream morning. It's a gentle, believable kind of help. It's the HR manager looking at your resume and seeing something they can't quite explain. It's the client who decided to come back to you because they remembered the way you handled a small detail 6 months ago. God says, I am stirring the memories of those who have the power to say yes to you. You've been through the fire of being unheard. You've sent the prayers up and felt like they hit a brass ceiling and bounced back to the floor. But have you ever considered that the no or the not yet was actually a not that way? You were looking for a specific door to open, but God saw that behind that door was a room that would have eventually become a cage. He is moving you toward an open road, not just a hallway. This is about stability. This is about forest green provision, the kind that grows slow and deep and doesn't wither when the heat comes. You aren't looking for a lottery moment. You're looking for the steady shepherd to lead you to still waters. And those waters are closer than they appear. Think about the quiet car ride home when you didn't even turn on the radio because the noise in your head was already too loud. You were replaying conversations, wondering if you said the right thing, wondering if you should have been more aggressive or perhaps less. You were weighing the cost of your integrity against the speed of your success. God says, I saw you choose the long way because it was the right way. And because you chose the right way, the provision that is coming to you will be ad-safe. It will be clean, it will be honorable, and it will be something you can stand on without fear of it collapsing. This is a season of wise moves. You will find yourself making decisions with a sudden clarity that wasn't there last week. You will know exactly which boundary to set. You will know exactly which phone call to return and which one to let go. The silence is breaking, but it isn't breaking with a crash. It's breaking with the sound of a key turning in a lock that has been stuck for years. You've been trying to force the door with your shoulder, but the shepherd is simply handing you the key. The key is your peace. When you stop fighting the silence and start resting in the preparation finishes its work. You are becoming a person who can handle much because you have been faithful in the nothing. You've kept your house clean while it was empty. Now get ready for it to be filled with the right resources. You've kept your heart soft while it was lonely. Now get ready for the right connections. This is your confirmation. The delay was not a denial. It was a shield. There were things in the atmosphere, things in the market, things in the hearts of others that weren't ready to receive the best version of you. If you had stepped out earlier, you would have been fighting battles you weren't equipped to win. But now, as you emerge from this period of being a refined vessel, you are walking out with a different kind of authority. It's a quiet authority. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You just have to show up. Here, this one wise move in the next few days is going to outweigh 6 months of frantic hustle. You are going to feel a nudge, a quiet, grounded intuition to reach out to someone to check an old account or to apply for something you thought was out of reach. Do not ignore that nudge. That is the steady shepherd's staff pointing the way. It's not a gamble. It's a guided step. You've been asking for a sign, and the sign is the sudden stillness in your spirit that says, it's okay to try one more time. The exhaustion you feel tonight is the good tired of a runner who is in the final lap. Your breath is returning. The stability you've been craving, the forest green growth, is starting to take root in the soil of your daily life. It might start with a small victory. Maybe it's a bill that comes in lower than expected, or a small gesture of support from a friend that reminds you you aren't invisible. Don't despise these small openings. They are the warm bronze of favorable timing beginning to shine on your path. They are the early evidence that the season of being unheard is transitioning into a season of being answered in ways you didn't expect. You've been calculating numbers until your eyes blurred, trying to find a way where there is no way. But the provision God is bringing isn't limited to your math. It's about support through people. It's about the right channels. It's about a new opportunity that doesn't look like your past, which is why you almost missed it. You were looking for a bigger version of what you used to have, but God is giving you something entirely new, something that fits the person you became in the silence. Remember that quiet moment when the kids were finally asleep and you sat in the dark just breathing, feeling the weight of the world on your chest. That weight is being lifted. Not all at once, perhaps, but layer by layer. You are being given the soft cream of everyday trust. You are learning that you can sleep because He doesn't. You are learning that your value isn't tied to your productivity, but to your identity as a vessel that has been refined. God says, I am closing the gap between your effort and your reward. For a long time, you've been putting in 100% and seeing 10% return. That ratio is shifting. You are entering a season where your small efforts will yield a compound harvest. Why? Because you have proven that you won't waste the harvest. You've proven that you can be trusted with the little, even when the little felt like nothing. This is the alignment you've been waiting for. It's not a hype-filled mountaintop. It's a steady, high-ground path where the air is clear and the direction is certain. Think of the silence as the time the ocean pulls back before a great tide comes in. The shore looks empty, the rocks are exposed, and it looks like the water has abandoned the land. But the water hasn't left. It is gathering its strength. It is pulling back so it can return with a force that changes the landscape. Your life has felt exposed lately. You've felt the rocks of your insecurities and the sand of your temporary setbacks are visible for everyone to see. But the tide is gathering. The provision is gathering. The support is gathering. Hear this. Your silence was your strength. While everyone else was talking, you were listening. While everyone else was showing off, you were growing. While everyone else was taking shortcuts, you were being refined. And now, as the timing turns to bronze, you will find that you have a depth that others lack. You have a foundation that can't be shaken by a bad day or a temporary no. You are a refined vessel, and a vessel is meant to be filled. You've been wondering if your prayers were just disappearing into the night air. But every prayer was a seed. And seeds work in the dark. Seeds work in the silence. If you dug them up every day to see if they were growing, you would kill them. The fact that you couldn't see the progress doesn't mean there wasn't any. Underground, the roots were stretching out, finding the water anchoring your future. Your unanswered season was actually your rooting season. And because your roots are now deep, your fruit will be lasting. You won't be a one-hit wonder of success. You will be a steady tree of provision for yourself and your family. God says, look at your hands again. They may be tired, they may be trembling slightly from the stress, but they are ready. They are ready to manage the favorable timing that is about to land. You are going to receive a rejection message that turns out to be the greatest blessing of your year because it's going to redirect you to a quiet opening that you would have otherwise ignored. This is the wisdom of the shepherd. He doesn't just lead you to things. He leads you away from things that would have drained you. So when you lay your head down tonight, I want you to let out that breath you've been holding. I want you to release the calculation mind, the one that tries to solve the next 5 years in the next 5 minutes. You don't need the whole map. You just need the next step. And the next step is already illuminated. It's a step of peace. It's a step of everyday trust. You are not unheard. You are being prepared for an answer that is bigger than the question you asked. As you move through the next 24 hours, keep your eyes open for the early evidence. It's not going to be a burning bush. It's going to be a steady opening. A door that was previously heavy will suddenly feel light. A person who was previously cold will suddenly be helpful. A thought that was previously confusing will suddenly be clear. These are the markers of your shift. You are moving out of the refinement phase and into the favorable timing phase. God says that your dignity is being restored in the very place where you felt most overlooked. You aren't going to have to hustle back to your place of respect. You are going to be invited back. The work you did in the dark is about to be rewarded in the light. But more importantly, the person you became while you thought no one was watching is the person who is going to lead others to their own steady provision. Your struggle was your school, and you are about to graduate. Take a moment now to feel the soft cream of this promise. It's not a loud, clanging symbol of a promise. It's a quiet, steady assurance. It's the feeling of a green forest after a long rain. Everything is quiet, everything is breathing, and everything is growing. That is the state of your life right now. The rain of the trial has stopped. The sun of bronze timing is coming up. And you are standing there, a refined vessel, ready to be filled with exactly what you need for the journey ahead. You might still feel the lingering heaviness in your chest, but that's just the memory of the weight. The weight itself is gone. You are learning how to walk light again. You are learning how to breathe without the what if catching in your throat. This is your confirmation that the silent prayer at night reached the ears of the one who specializes in turning silence into a symphony. Your confusion is being replaced by clarity. Your heaviness is being replaced by a lighter burden. Hear this, the road ahead is an open road. There are no more roadblocks that you cannot navigate with the wisdom you've gained. You have become a steady shepherd scribe of your own life, documenting the faithfulness of God in the mundane moments. You are realizing that provision isn't just a number in a bank account. It's the right people showing up at the right time with the right word. It's the unexpected help that arrives just as you are about to give up. You've been through the quiet car before work moments where you had to give yourself a pep talk just to open the door. You've been through the unpaid bill email that made your heart skip a beat. You've been through the HR calendar invite that felt like a death sentence. And you are still here. You are still standing. That alone is proof of your refinement. You are unbreakable because you have been broken and remade by the Master. As we move into this next arc of your journey, I want you to hold on to the forest green of stability. Don't look for the flash in the pan. Look for the growth that lasts. Look for the bronze timing that feels solid and earned. You aren't getting a handout. You are getting a harvest. And a harvest is something you can be proud of because you were the one who stayed in the field when it was dry. God says, I am honoring your silence. Your refusal to complain, your refusal to quit, and your refusal to compromise have been noted. The refined vessel is now ready for the new wine. And this wine isn't just for you. It's for everyone who will look at your life and say, if it happened for them after all they went through, it can happen for me. Your life is becoming a testimony of practical hope. You are entering a space where wise steps lead to steady openings. You don't have to run. You just have to walk with the shepherd. He knows the way through the thicket. He knows where the support through people is hiding. He knows how to connect your dignity with your opportunity. Trust the soft cream of this moment. Let it settle into your bones. The wait wasn't a waste. The silence wasn't a snub. It was the necessary environment for the most important work of your life, the work that happened inside of you. Now that the inside is ready, the outside must align. The provision and life shift is not a possibility. It is a process that has already begun. you're going to notice a change in your everyday trust. You'll find yourself worrying less about the silent phone because you know that when it rings, it will be the right call. You'll find yourself looking at the HR calendar with curiosity instead of dread. You'll find yourself sitting in that quiet car with a sense of peace that doesn't make sense to the world, but makes perfect sense to your spirit. Hear this. Your confirmation is in the calm. If you feel a breath returning to your lungs right now, that is the sign. If you feel a stability in your heart that wasn't there 10 minutes ago, that is the sign. The forest green of your life is starting to flourish. The warm bronze of your timing is clicking into place. Wait for the one wise move. It's coming. It will be simple. It will be practical. It will be the right move for this right time. And when you take it, you will feel the entire weight of the shepherd's support behind you. You aren't walking alone, and you aren't walking toward a dead end. You are walking into your provision. God sees your tears. Silence is your refinement. Praying without answers. You are being prepared. Now the heat begins to rise. And this is where the refinement of the vessel moves from the cooling of the silence into the intensity of the fire. It is one thing to trust when you are simply waiting. It is another thing entirely to trust when the pressure starts to lean against the walls of your life, demanding a decision. You have been in this middle space for a while now. That uncomfortable gap between the promise and the provision, where the no from a supervisor feels like a final judgment, and the silence from a potential partner feels like a personal rejection. You are standing in the hallway of your life, and every door you try seems to be bolted from the inside. This is the escalation. This is the moment where the refined vessel is tested for cracks. You might feel like you are breaking, but God says you are only being pressed into a shape that can hold more than you ever thought possible. Think about that moment earlier today when you had to bite your tongue. Maybe it was a conversation with a family member who doesn't understand your journey, or a colleague who took credit for your work while you sat there in silence, wondering if justice would ever find your address. You felt that heat rising in your chest, the urge to defend yourself, the urge to scream, the urge to just quit and walk away from everything you built. But you didn't. You took a breath, you adjusted your collar, and you walked back to your station. Hear this, that restraint was not weakness. It was a boundary. You are learning that you do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. You are learning that your peace is a commodity that is too expensive for everyone to afford. This is your confirmation. Your ability to stay steady under pressure is the very quality that is qualifying you for the favorable timing that is about to arrive. God says that He is looking for a manager of His resources, not just a consumer. And a manager is someone who can keep their head when everyone else is losing theirs. You are being watched not for your perfection, but for your persistence. Every time you choose the forest green path of stability over the neon red path of a quick, messy fix, you are proving that you are ready for the long-term provision. You aren't just looking for a check. You are looking for a change in your life's climate. You want a life that is sustainable, breathable, and grounded. Think of the kitchen table at 2 a.m. The house is quiet, but your mind is a stadium of noise. You have the laptop open, or maybe a notebook, and you're trying to find a way to make the numbers make sense. You're looking at the gap between what you have and what you need, and the gap looks like a canyon. You feel that familiar tightness in your shoulders, the weight of responsibility that feels like it's bowing your spine. You're wondering if you're the only one who feels this way, if everyone else has a secret manual for life that you somehow missed. You're wondering how this is so specific. It is specific because the steady shepherd is sitting at that table with you. He is not judging the math, He is watching the heart. God says, I am not limited by your calculations. Hear this, There is a support through people factor that you haven't accounted for yet. There is an unexpected help variable that doesn't fit into your spreadsheet. You have been calculating your future based on your past resources, but you are about to enter a season where the resources are tied to your new identity. You are no longer the one who has to beg. You are the one who is being positioned to lead. This requires a shift in your decisions. You have to start making moves based on where you are going, not where you have been. This means setting boundaries with your own fear. You have a habit of letting anxiety drive the car while you sit in the passenger seat, terrified of the destination. God says, it's time to take the wheel back. This is your confirmation. The fear you feel is just the friction of your old life rubbing against the new one. It's the sound of the old chains stretching before they snap. You have to decide tonight that you will no longer negotiate with your what-ifs. You have to decide that you will do the work, make the wise moves, and leave the outcome to the one who owns the road. Imagine walking into your workplace or your home tomorrow with a different kind of posture. Not an arrogant one, but a grounded one. The kind of posture that comes from knowing that you are a refined vessel. When the chaos starts, and it will, you are going to be the soft cream in the room. You are going to be the calm center. You are going to set a boundary with the drama and the negativity. You are going to say no to the things that drain your oil. You have been giving your energy away to people and problems that don't deserve it, and then wondering why you feel empty when it's time to pray. God says, protect your oil. The oil is for your lamp, for your vision, for your family. Stop wasting it on fires you didn't start. There is a micro scene playing out in your near future, perhaps in the next 48 hours. You are going to be offered an opportunity that looks like a shortcut. It might be a job that pays well, but requires you to leave your integrity at the door. It might be a relationship that feels good, but asks you to compromise the person you've become in the silence. It might be a way to get ahead that leaves someone else behind. This is your test. This is where you decide if you are a vessel of honor or a vessel of convenience. Hear this, the shortcut is a detour in disguise. The warm bronze timing of God doesn't require you to cheat. If you have to break your character to get the provision, it isn't provision, it's a trap. Choose the right channel, even if it's the slower channel. The shepherd is guiding you toward a blessing that has no sorrow added to it. God says that your one wise move right now is to simplify. You have been trying to carry too many bags. You've been trying to please people who aren't even going where you're going. You've been trying to solve problems that aren't yours to solve. Look at your life and see what needs to be pruned. What commitment is sucking the life out of you? What habit is keeping you in the neon red of anxiety? What voice are you listening to that makes you feel small? Cut it. Set the boundary. This is the pruning that leads to the forest green growth. It feels like loss in the moment, but it is actually the creation of space for the favorable timing to land. You've been in the workplace bathroom, splashing cold water on your face, looking in the mirror and asking how much longer you felt that exhaustion that goes deeper than sleep can reach. You felt like a fraud for having faith when your bank account is whispering doubts. God says, I see the face behind the water. I see the courage it takes to walk back out that door and try again. And because you haven't quit, the right people are being positioned to meet you. There is a support through people moment coming that will feel like a cool breeze on a hot day. It's not going to be a grand gesture. It's going to be a steady opening. A conversation that leads to a connection. A connection that leads to a door you didn't even know existed. Hear this, your reputation is being rebuilt in rooms you haven't even entered yet. While you were in the fire, people were talking about your resilience. While you were in the silence, people were noticing your consistency. The refined vessel doesn't just hold value, it radiates it. You are becoming a person of weight. When you speak, people are starting to listen differently. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere is starting to shift. This is the God says authority manifesting in your real life. It's not about being loud, it's about being solid. You have to make a decision about your past. You've been carrying the rejection message around in your pocket like a lucky charm of misery. You read it over and over, letting it define your worth. God says burn it. That rejection was the shepherd's staff moving you away from a cliff. If that person had stayed, they would have held you back. If that job had kept you, it would have buried you. The open road requires you to travel light. You cannot walk into the warm bronze of your future if you are still tied to the iron gray of your failures. This is your confirmation your mistakes have been recycled into wisdom. They are no longer your identity. They are your credentials. You know what doesn't work, which makes you the expert on what does. Think about the silence again. It's starting to feel different, isn't it? It's not the silence of being ignored anymore. It's the silence of a house before a celebration. The preparations are almost complete. The table is being set. The right channels are being cleared of debris. You've done the hard work of staying steady. You've done the hard work of setting boundaries with your own bitterness. You've done the hard work of choosing excellence when no one was looking. Now the escalation is moving toward a peak. The pressure is about to turn into momentum. Every 6 to 10 sentences, the Spirit reminds you. This is your confirmation. You aren't crazy for believing. You aren't a fool for hoping. The world tells you to be realistic, but the shepherd tells you to be ready. Reality is what you see. Readiness is what you possess. You are ready for the steady provision because you have learned how to be steady without the provision. You have learned that your joy doesn't have to be tied to a fluctuating market or a changing opinion. You have found the soft cream of trust in the middle of a hard season. Hear this, there is a shift coming in your family first dynamics. You've been the one everyone leans on, the one who carries the emotional labor for the whole house. You've been the steady one, but you're tired of being the only one holding the pillars up. God says, I am sending you help. You are going to see a change in the people around you. Some will step up and some will step out. Do not fear the shifting. The shepherd is rearranging your circle so that you are supported as much as you support others. This is part of the life shift. You cannot carry the new harvest alone. You need a team that is as refined as you are. You're going to have a moment in the next few days where you feel the urge to hustle, to do something desperate, to force an outcome. You'll feel that panic in your gut that says, if I don't do this right now, I'll lose everything. When that moment comes, I want you to stop. I want you to remember the forest green stability. I want you to remember that the shepherd doesn't rush. He leads. Rushing is for those who are afraid they'll be forgotten. Leading is for those who know they are chosen. Set a boundary with that panic. Say, I will not move out of fear. I will only move out of favor. God says that your favorable timing is linked to your wise moves. And the wisest move you can make right now is to stay in position. Don't abandon your post because the sun hasn't come up yet. The darkest part of the night is always just before the dawn. You've heard that before, but you're living it now. The escalation of the trial is the proof that the breakthrough is near. If the enemy wasn't worried about where you're going, he wouldn't be trying so hard to stop you where you are. but he can't stop a refined vessel that has already survived the fire. You are fire-tested. You are heat-treated. You are ready for the bronze season. Think of the unpaid bill email or the HR calendar invite that used to make your heart stop. Look at them again. They are just data points now. They are not your destiny. You are learning to look past the circumstances and see the open road. You are realizing that your provision is a person, not a paycheck. And as long as you are walking with that person, you have everything you need to take the next step. This is the lighter burden promise. It doesn't mean the work disappears. It means the weight of the worry is gone. You are working with a partner now. You are co-laboring with the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Hear this, the no you received recently was a not this version of you. You are being upgraded. The vessel is being glazed and finished. The refined vessel is about to be put on display, not for your glory, but to show what is possible when a person stays steady in the middle of the storm. You are a living advertisement for the faithfulness of God. And because you are an ad-safe vessel, clean, honorable, and grounded, you are going to be trusted with more than you can currently imagine. God says, prepare for the shift in your everyday trust. You're going to find yourself laughing at things that used to make you cry. You're going to find yourself sleeping through things that used to keep you awake. You're going to find yourself saying yes to opportunities that you used to be afraid of. Why? Because the refinement has removed the part of you that was addicted to the struggle. You are becoming addicted to the peace. You are becoming a connoisseur of the soft cream moments. You are noticing the way the light hits the trees in the morning. You are noticing the sound of your child's laughter. You are noticing the believable help that is already all around you. This is your confirmation. The escalation is ending and the alignment is beginning. You are moving out of the phase where you have to fight for every inch and into the phase where you begin to occupy the land that has been prepared for you. But before you step into the full bronze timing, there is one more boundary you have to set. It's the boundary of your yes. You have been a yes person for too long, saying yes to everyone else's needs and no to your own calling. God says your yes is a sacred resource. Stop giving it away for free. Start saving it for the things that align with your forest green future. Think about that silent phone one more time. The phone that you've been staring at, waiting for it to bring you the news you think you need. God says the phone will ring when the caller is ready to treat you with the dignity you've earned. Don't wish for it to happen sooner. Let the refinement finish its work. You don't want the old version of that opportunity. You want the version that is commensurate with the refined vessel you have become. You are a person of value now. You are a person of weight. You are a person of practical hope. As we move into the final preparation, I want you to feel the strength in your hands. You've been using them to hold onto the ledge, but now you're going to use them to build something new. The life shift is not just about getting out of trouble. It's about getting into your purpose. It's about moving from survival to stability. It's about the open road that leads to a place of rest and provision. Hear this, the steady shepherd is not just leading you to a destination. He is leading you into a new way of being. A way of being that is grounded, compassionate, and quietly prophetic. You are going to start seeing the life shift in others because you have seen it in yourself. You are going to be the one who can say to someone else, I'm standing with you, and actually mean it because you know exactly what the fire feels like. But the fire is behind you now. The heat is beginning to cool into a solid, unbreakable shape. You are the refined vessel, and the escalation has served its purpose. It has proven that you cannot be broken. It has proven that you are steady. It has proven that you are ready for the warm bronze of favorable timing. Now look at the decisions in front of you. Don't look at them through the lens of your past lack. Look at them through the lens of your future provision. Ask yourself, what would the refined version of me do? Would they settle for that shortcut? Would they let that person talk to them that way? Would they let that "what if" keep them up at night? No, they wouldn't. And neither will you. God says the boundary you set today is the bridge to your tomorrow. Every time you say no to the lower version of your life, you are saying yes to the provision. Every time you choose the right channel over the easy channel, you are aligning with the steady shepherd. This is the work. This is the practical hope in action. You are standing in the middle of a life shift, and the momentum is building. You can feel it in the way the silence is starting to hum with possibility. You can feel it in the way the favorable timing is starting to click into place. You can feel it in the breath returning to your lungs. You are not just surviving this. You are mastering it. And as the refined vessel is prepared for its final seal, I want you to think about the one wise move you've been avoiding. You know the one. It's that small practical step that feels a bit scary, but also feels right. Maybe it's a phone call you need to make, a boundary you need to draw, or a project you need to start. God says, do it now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The moment becomes perfect because you take it in faith. This is your confirmation. The steady shepherd is already at the finish line of this season, waiting for you to catch up. He isn't worried about the obstacles in your way, because he's the one who put the hinges on the doors. He's the one who cleared the path. He's the one who is bringing the support through people. All you have to do is keep walking. Keep your head up. Keep your heart soft. Keep your boundaries firm. The warm bronze light is getting brighter. The forest green of your stability is deepening. The soft cream of your trust is becoming your new normal. You are moving out of the fire and into the favor. You are moving out of the unheard and into the answered. You are moving out of the struggle and into the shift. Hear this, your life is about to become a real-life first example of what happens when a person refuses to give up on their dignity. You are going to see provision that doesn't just pay your bills, but honors your soul. You are going to see opportunities that don't just use your skills, but fulfill your purpose. You are going to see a life shift that changes the trajectory of your entire family. But it all starts with the decision you make right now. The decision to stay steady. The decision to believe the God says over the world says. The decision to be the refined vessel even when it's hot. You are almost there. The arc is moving toward its conclusion and the provision is already in transit. Don't look back at the fire. Look forward at the road. I want you to think about the micro scene of your victory. What does it look like? Is it a quiet dinner where you realize you aren't worried about money anymore? Is it a walk in the park where you realize your heart doesn't hurt when you breathe? Is it a meeting where you realize you are finally being seen for who you truly are? Hold that image in your mind. That is not a fantasy. That is the favorable timing that is being prepared for you. God says the escalation was for your elevation. You couldn't go where you're going with the old mindset. You needed the pressure to forge the refined vessel. Now that the forging is done, the filling can begin. And it's going to be a steady provision. It's going to be a lighter burden. It's going to be a life shift that lasts. Stay in the position of peace. Keep the boundaries of your spirit. Make the wise moves of the shepherd. The silence is over. The bronze timing has begun. And you are standing right in the center of it, ready, refined, and remarkable. You're going to notice a change in your everyday trust as the day goes on. You'll find yourself humming a song you haven't thought of in years. You'll find yourself noticing the right people in unexpected places. You'll find yourself feeling a sense of practical hope that isn't dependent on the news. This is the soft cream of God's presence settling over your life. Hear this, the shift is not coming. It is here. You are just catching up to the reality of what has already been decided in the Spirit. The refined vessel is ready. The open road is clear. The steady shepherd is leading the way. Take one more breath. Feel the forest green stability. Feel the warm bronze timing. Feel the soft cream trust. You are not unheard. You are not forgotten. You are the refined vessel, and your time is now. Wait for the steady opening. It's coming. It's closer than you think. It's going to be believable. It's going to be honorable. It's going to be yours. Now, as the heat begins to settle and the shape is finally set, the heat is finally dissipating. And what is left in the aftermath is something the world cannot break. The vessel has been through the furnace of silence, the pressure of escalation, and the pruning of boundaries, and now it is coming into a state of permanent alignment. You can feel the change in the atmosphere of your own home tonight. It's as if the walls themselves are exhaling. The jagged edges of your anxiety are being smoothed over by a soft cream peace that is not a temporary high, but a fundamental shift in your foundation. God says the refinement is complete and the filling has begun. You are moving out of the season of praying without answers and into the season of evidence. Hear this, the provision that is coming to you is ad safe because it is clean, it is durable, and it is honorable. You won't have to look over your shoulder wondering when the other shoe will drop. This is not a get-rich-quick moment. This is the forest green stability of a life that is finally being rewarded for its integrity. Think about the right channels that have been opening up. You've noticed a shift in the way your superiors look at you, or perhaps a sudden favorable timing in a project that had been stalled for months. You are going to see a rejection message from your past suddenly make sense because it left a space that a much better opportunity is about to fill. You're wondering how this is so specific. It is because the shepherd has been narrating your life while you thought he was silent. This is your confirmation. The support through people is no longer a distant hope. It is a current reality. In the next few days, you are going to encounter a person, perhaps someone you already know, or a new connection who has the key to a door you've been knocking on for years. This isn't a transactional relationship. It's a steady provision alignment. They are going to see the refined vessel in you. They are going to recognize the weight of your character. God says, I am moving the hearts of kings and managers on your behalf. You have been working in the dark, and now you are being positioned for a real-life first level of visibility. Your dignity is your greatest asset in this season. Think about the quiet car before work micro scene again. Tomorrow, when you sit in that car, I want you to look at your hands and realize they are no longer empty. They are full of the wisdom of the fire. You are going to walk into that building or open that laptop with the warm bronze authority of someone who knows their value is not determined by a paycheck, but by the one who provides the paycheck. This shift in your internal posture is the catalyst for the life shift in your external circumstances. When you stop acting like a beggar, the world starts treating you like an owner. You are an owner of your peace, an owner of your boundaries, and an owner of your future. Hear this, the unexpected help is going to manifest in a way that feels like a soft cream morning. It might be a small gesture, a neighbor offering a hand with a task, a sudden clarity on how to handle a complex bill, or a favorable timing in a family matter that has been causing you stress. These are the ripples of the tide coming back in. The water is no longer pulling away from the shore, it is rushing toward you. Every 6 to 10 sentences, I want you to remember, this is your confirmation. The silence was not a void. It was a womb. Something new has been born in you, and it is strong enough to survive the world. As we stand in this refuge, I want to speak to the ones who have been carrying the weight of this channel in their hearts. To keep this space open for the weary, for the working people who need this steady shepherd voice to navigate their life shift, there is a way to stand with us. This is a place for those who value practical hope and grounded guidance. The fastest way to support this mission and keep this refuge open for others is super thanks. If you feel led to mark this refined vessel season with a seed of gratitude, use that feature now. Comment the code word STEADY, then your word done and your first name. For example, Steady Done Sarah. Now listen, the bridge between where you are and where the full provision sits is built with the bricks of your everyday trust. God says, I am clearing the open road of the debris you couldn't move yourself. You've been trying to push boulders that required a shepherd's staff. Those boulders, the old debts of spirit, the lingering rejection the HR calendar invites that felt like threats are being rolled away. You are going to find that the path is much smoother than it was 6 months ago. Why? Because you have been refined. You no longer trip over the small things. You no longer let the silent phone dictate your worth. You have a lighter burden because you've learned how to give the heavy end of the load to the one who can carry it. Think of the soft cream trust as a blanket that is being laid over your house. Your children are going to feel it. Your spouse is going to feel it. Your co-workers are going to feel the difference in your energy. You are no longer hustling for approval. You are aligning for impact. This is the forest green life, growing steady and providing shade for others. You are becoming a person that others look to when the world gets loud. You are the refined vessel that holds the cool water of peace in a desert of chaos. Hear this, your one 24-hour action is this: I want you to find one physical space in your home or your workspace that represents the old season of stress, a cluttered drawer, a pile of old mail, a messy desk, and I want you to clean it completely. As you clear that physical space, I want you to say out loud, I am making room for my steady provision. This is not a ritual. It is a practical alignment. You are signaling to your own spirit and to the atmosphere that you are no longer a person of chaos, but a person of warm bronze order. You are ready for the new resources. You are ready for the life shift. This is your confirmation. And the rejection message you received was actually a protection message. You didn't lose that opportunity. You were rescued from it. God says, I have a right channel that is specifically tuned to your frequency. You are going to see a new opportunity that feels so natural, so right, that you'll wonder why you ever fought for the old one. This is the beauty of the steady shepherd's leading. He doesn't just give you what you want. He gives you what you were made for. Think about the unpaid bill email that used to make your stomach flip. You are going to look at your finances in the coming weeks and see the early evidence of a shift. It might start as a steady opening, a small increase, a saved expense, a support through people, moment that lightens the load. Do not despise these small beginnings. They are the seeds of your forest green future. You are moving toward a place of stability where you can breathe, where you can give, and where you can rest. God says the refined vessel is now sealed. The cracks have been filled with the gold of your endurance. You are more beautiful and more valuable now than you were before the fire. The silence has done its work. The escalation has done its work. Now let the provision do its work. You are entering a season of favorable timing where things will just seem to work out for you. You'll be at the right place at the right time. You'll say the right word to the right person. This is not luck. It is alignment. Hear this, your life. Shift is not just about your bank account. It is about your soul's recovery. You are recovering your joy. You are recovering your sleep. You are recovering your sense of practical hope. You are realizing that the steady shepherd was never far away. He was just waiting for the vessel to be ready for the wine. And the wine is new. It is fresh. It is exactly what you need for this next stretch of the open road. Look at the person you were when you started this journey, the one sitting at the edge of the bed, calculating numbers in the dark, feeling unheard and exhausted. Give that version of yourself a hug. They did a good job. They stayed steady when it was hard. They kept the everyday trust when it was quiet. But you are not that person anymore. You are the refined vessel. You are the warm bronze light. You are the forest green tree. As we close this arc, I want you to feel the soft cream peace one more time. Let it fill your chest. Let it quiet your mind. The life shift is here. The provision is here. The open road is before you. Walk onto it with your head held high. You aren't a ghost in your own life anymore. You are the lead character in a story of redemption. God says it is done. The shift has been made. The alignment is set. The right people are on their way. The unexpected help is around the corner. The favorable timing is clicking into place. This is your confirmation. This is your seal. This is your life transformed. Take the next 24 hours to move in the one wise move you've identified. Don't overthink it. Just do it with the practical hope of someone who knows the outcome is already secured. You are no longer praying without answers. You are living in the answer. The silence has broken into a song, and the song is about your victory. Hear this: you are loved, you are seen, and you are steady. The steady shepherd is with you, and he is leading you to a place of steady provision and open doors. You are the refined vessel, and your cup is about to run over. Now go and move into your life shift. The road is open. The light is warm bronze. The peace is soft cream, and the future is forest green. It is time to breathe. It is time to live. It is time to receive. Everything you've been through has led to this moment. Every tear, every silent prayer at night, every quiet car moment, every rejection, it was all part of the refinement. And the refinement is what makes the provision possible. You can handle what's coming because you've already handled what was. God says, peace, be still. The storm is over. The shift has happened. You are standing on the open road, and the steady shepherd is walking right beside you. Look forward. Your provision is already there. This is the final seal on this pass. The vessel is ready. The world is waiting. The life shift is your new reality. Stay in the calm. Stay in the trust. Stay steady. You are wondering how this is so specific. It's because it was always meant for you. Receive your provision. Receive your life shift. Receive your practical hope. It is finished. It is beginning. It is yours. Amen.